Hello, day 24. Let's do this. Can you tell that I've run this morning? And I'm on my fourth cup of tea. So here we go. Raby's got energy. Blimey. All right. I might be asleep by 2:00 this afternoon. Basically, what happened yesterday is I went on a hen do, which was lovely. We had afternoon tea in town at one of my favourite spots, which is the Soho Hotel. And I had so much sugar. I mean, if I'd seen a bouncy castle, I would have gone on it. We've all been to those kids' parties, even if you did it as a kid, where you would just be laced with sugar by the end of it. My mum and I were galloping down Dean Street by the end of it. Anyway, I digress. Today, I want to invite you to do it once and then it's done. That snappy phrase, or there's probably a snappier version, I once heard by a coach. I don't know if that's how she would describe herself. I'm going to do it live on the podcast. Let me just check how she is so professional. Nicky Raby. Okay. She's called, here we go. She's called Grace Lever. And she has, her website is called The Doer's Way. And she supports female entrepreneurs. She's got a fancy new website since, oh gosh, it's going to start talking to me now. Okay, I'm going to click off there. And she was talking, I think she did a whole series about it, about doing it once and then it's done. And this was, it sounds like Phoebe Buffet. This was brand new information to me. And it stopped me in my tracks. And when I first discovered her, this was about 2017. And I was tired in the first half of 2017. I'd been a mum for about 18 months. And I was at that point where I felt like all the adrenaline hormones, all they're like, oh my goodness, I'm just so excited and in love with my child. That of course was still there, but the tiredness wave came up to meet me and was like, the tiredness was like, I know you love your kids, but I need you to go and have some sleep. And of course, life gets busy and sometimes the kid doesn't sleep. And sometimes the kid doesn't sleep now. But, you can't necessarily go, I'm just going to have a fortnight off and do nothing. You can't do that as a parent. You have to find a way through it. So when I had this awakening, because it did sort of feel like a spiritual experience of like, I could just do something once and let it work for me, it was game changing. Also, I had to unpick a lot of stuff around this, where I had to question, why am I reinventing this wheel? Why am I always in launch mode? Why am I trying to solve I had a lot of questions. Why am I trying to solve all the problems? Why am I feeling like I'm on this hamster wheel? Why can't I just do it once and it be good? And that's where the real unpicking started to happen, where I realized I was living by other people's rules or things that had happened. So I was taking inspiration from fashion, for example. I was not working in the classics capsule wardrobe, the lovely white t-shirt that you buy for years, you buy once and then you wear it for years and years because it's really great. I was in that fast fashion thing. I always felt like I had to be reinventing or supporting all of the people. And that takes a lot of energy, because also what happens is if you're chopping and changing, you're essentially doing a HIIT class with your business. You're going, oh my goodness, I've got to do 10 burpees now. Where are we going? Okay, I'm running across here. Oh, now we're doing arms. Oh, I've got to pick up the weights. Oh, I need a glass of water. You're in that mode where your body is being challenged. And that's great in terms of a short burst of exercise. But if you're running a business like that alone, it's really hard to keep up with. It's not sustainable for me. It may be for you, but for me and my personality type, it isn't sustainable. And you're only just scratching the surface. You know, if you go back to the HIIT class analogy, if you're not quite, you know, I've done a couple of those before, and about 2/3 of the way through, I'm like, I don't think this is for me, because do you know what? I've never stuck at it. So I'm not like somebody who can just jump into something and go, gosh, I love this. I love being able to get every single one perfect. If I had to do 10 burpees, I might do 7 really nice ones, and then 8, 9, 10 might start to trail off a bit because I haven't got that energy. I haven't got that full tank to support me. And that's what happens if you're doing things all the time and you're reinventing it. So I had to get serious. Do you ever have those serious moments with yourself where you have to sit down and you kind of wag your finger at yourself with kindness and go, right, what are we doing here? And I think actually we had some time away in 2017, and we went to Anglesey, which is a very dear place in my heart because it's where I used to go all the time as a kid because my grandparents lived there. And I don't know if it was the sea air, I don't know if it was the emotion of, you know, now my grandparents are not there because they've both passed, and the extreme tiredness and the change of perspective that I just ended up having a cry. And I was there with my mum. We were there as a big family, and one night we ended up just sitting down, my mum and I think Oscar was in bed and the guys had gone to the pub, and we just sat down, and I just sort of had to have one of those moments of like, I can't keep up with this. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. And my mum was so helpful in really helping me identify what I wanted, and also giving me that space to let all my thoughts and feelings happen. And I think that's part 2 of this do it once, is you have to uncover it and see what is going on behind that. So if you're working all the time, or if you're feeling like you have to reinvent things, or you can't quite decide on one thing, you have to go a layer deeper and go, why am I doing that? Or in my case, why am I making things more complicated than they need to? What's the limiting belief there? What's the old story that's holding me back? And this is the big question, where am I not feeling enough here? Yeah. And when that comes up, sometimes everything about it makes you want to push it down like a jack-in-the-box, like, nope, don't want to look at you, nope. And it becomes like, you know, that Crazy Frog song, like it's going to keep popping up and trying to catch your attention until you pay attention to it. Now, of course, get the support that you need around this. I know that I've swept over some big topics of self-worth. Am I enough? Why am I doing this? Changing patterns of behavior here. So please go very gentle with yourself. And, you know, I don't want you to think like, oh, Nicky just told me to do it once, and like, I've now got to change this. But I guess what I am inviting you to do is to bring your awareness up this week. Notice where you're making it more complicated. Notice where things feel tough, where they feel sticky, where things feel a bit tricky. I often use that analogy of yoga as well, of giving yourself that permission to adjust the position. So I love it when a yoga teacher will say, if you need to bring your foot forward, do that. If you have tight hamstrings, do that. If you're looking for a more advanced stretch today, do that. So yeah, it's a juicy one, but do it once. See, maybe as a first starter as well, see where you can start to do the things once. Because other stuff, it might take a bit of time, it might take a bit of adjustment. So explore it, see what comes up. I would love to hear, as always. Feel free to DM me at Nicky Raby, or you can email me hello@nickiraby.com. Sending you a lot of love, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.